Alright, so you know these multi-chamber maze hamster houses that everyone uses? They're so cool, right? But did you know they can potentially be dangerous? Okay, let me give you some backstory here before explaining what I've learned recently as to why these can be dangerous. So a little while back, I bought a multi-chamber house because I had some free money on Chewy to use up, and the one I got is this one, which is from the brand Exotic Nutrition, even though it says Native Critter on it. There are many different brands that sell these boxes, including Night Angel, which is probably the biggest and most well-known brand. Now, this particular chamber house I have here is quite small, as you can see, so I haven't given it to Sprocket, but I have been saving it for a future dwarf hamster. Now, I've been spending a lot of time browsing the Reddit hamster page recently, as well as some other pages, and have stumbled upon multiple postings where hamster owners share how these multi-chamber houses have caused their hamster to get stuck and die. So what happens is the lid is meant to lift off, making it easy for cleaning. However, some hamsters are actually lifting and pushing up the lid with their nose and trying to crawl out. Because it's been recommended to place heavy items on top of these lids to keep them weighed down, unfortunately this has made the problem worse, as some hamsters have actually gotten their nose, neck, or body stuck in between the heavy lid and the house, and they ended up suffocating and dying. I'm so sorry to share that info with you guys, and I truly don't want to upset anyone with the thought of that, but I felt this info was really important to share, as this wasn't just a one-off incident that happened to one person, but it has happened to multiple hamster owners, both dwarf and Syrian owners. If this knowledge and this video can save even one hamster's life, it's worth mentioning. So I don't want to end this video here and say you can't use these boxes, because I think you can, so I'm going to share a few solutions that would make these hideouts safe to use again. The first would be to glue the lid all the way around using Elmer's glue or hot glue, and that way the lid won't lift off at all. Now, the downside to this solution is the fact you would mess up your hamster's burrows inside every time you have to lift up the house to clean it, but honestly it isn't too much different from any other wood house that you have to lift up and do the same thing, so I think this could be a potential way to make this safer. The second option I've thought of, if you want to keep it safe but functional, would be to screw small hinges and a solid latch onto the lid. This way the hamster can't lift the lid from the inside, but you can open it from the outside to have easy access. Here are hinges and a locking mechanism that I found at Hobby Lobby in the woodcraft section, and these were very inexpensive, as you can see, about $2.30, and there's enough in here to modify at least 2 different hideout boxes if you wanted to. So this is the option I decided to go with, and I'm going to show you how my box turned out, and you don't have to follow my method exactly, but I think this came out really well thanks to HoppingHammy, who helped me plan and to put this together. And just for reference, if you decide to get these same hardware pieces from Hobby Lobby, they take a 1/16 drill bit size. Let me know if you have any other questions on how I did mine. So the downside to this option is if your hamster is a big chewer, I would be really concerned about the screws if your hamster gained access to them, so please keep this in mind if you choose option 2. But for hamsters who don't really chew much on anything, I think this is a perfectly safe option, and this is what I've decided to do for my box. The third and final option, which is still risky and you'll have to decide for yourself if you think it's safe or not, that would be to use the box as normal, but don't put anything on top of it. No objects whatsoever, whether they are light or heavy. That way, if the hamster does push the lid open, it should be light enough to where they can climb out. So for me personally, I still don't feel safe doing this option, especially not with a dwarf hamster who is smaller, so I won't be doing this myself or suggesting it, but it's up to you if you think it's safe or not. Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk about in today's video. I'm sorry if anyone else has already talked about this subject before, but I haven't been active in the hamster community until just recently, so I probably missed seeing a lot of videos and posts and such, but it can never hurt to have more people bringing awareness to a potential risk with hamster supplies, right? So thank you guys for taking the time to watch and listen to this video, and if you found it helpful, would you please consider liking this and passing it along to others who you feel could benefit from it? I would really appreciate that, as well as any comments sharing your experience with these multi-chamber boxes. Thank you guys for watching. Sprocket and I love you, Jesus loves you, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!